the Auschwitz death camp, where it's estimated that 1.1 to 1.5 million people perished here in the Holocaust, most of them Eastern European Jews. It is here, right here on this track, railroad track, leading into the camp, that a young teenage boy arrived in a cattle car with his family, friends, and neighbors in 1944. That young boy, Elie Wiesel, lived to bear witness to the evil of man.
Elie Wiesel was born on September 30th, 1928 in Szeged, Transylvania. Elie lived a normal childhood with a family bound by faith and community. His father was a local grocer and his mother worked in their home caring for Elie and his sisters. Szeged was a tight-knit Jewish community where faith was an important part of daily life. Initially, Elie was cautious about sharing his experiences. Following the war, Elie landed in Paris where he studied literature, philosophy, and psychology. For many years, Wiesel refused to write down his experiences during the Holocaust. He did not believe he could find the words to describe what he had lived and witnessed, but he was finally convinced to put his thoughts down into writing. The premise of Night begins with a group of Jewish captives maintaining hope and faith, praying that they will be delivered from their captors. These prisoners believed that their oppressors were led by a godless governing body. Even as they were placed in ghettos and had their belongings taken from them, the people kept faith and believed that there should be no more fear and no more anguish. At this time in their alienation, they persevered and hoped that they would be delivered. In his Night trilogy, Elie examines how horrific events altered his point of view on religion and faith. He also explores the religious opinions of two other characters in his following stories of Dawn and Day. In this trilogy, he writes about his time in a concentration camp, Auschwitz, in his memoir Night. In Dawn, he writes about a Holocaust survivor turned terrorist in Palestine. And in Day, he tells a story of a man who almost loses his life when he is struck by a car in the streets of New York. Night, Dawn, and Day may be different stories, but they all center their theme around faith and how tragic events can affect one's mind and thoughts on God. Elie Wiesel is a prolific writer who was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1986 for his humanitarianism. Elie and his wife Marion founded the Elie Wiesel Foundation for Humanity to fight indifference, intolerance, and injustice. The Wiesels defend the causes of Soviet Jews, Cambodian refugees, and many other worthwhile causes. Wiesel was taught at an early age by his father to have a strong sense of humanism. He now uses his fame as a platform to plead justice for oppressed peoples.
No. I don't believe in collective forgiveness. For I don't believe in collective guilt or collective innocence. The guilty are guilty, the innocent are innocent. I was asked occasionally by German students who come to study with me, do I forgive them? And I said, these young people, they haven't done anything wrong. But very strange. They feel guilty, and they shouldn't. Their grandparents feel innocent, and they shouldn't. But then something happened to me, very, very interesting. I was invited to address the German parliament. I think it was the first or second time when they came from Bonn to Berlin in the Reichstag. Everybody was there, naturally. And I gave a lecture, my address about innocence and guilt. I spoke and spoke about what I had to say for the German people, to the German people. At the end, I turned to the President, President Johannes Rau. Mr. President, Germany has done great things after the war. First, you became a democracy, a great functioning democracy. Bravo, thank you. Then you have helped my people.
Wiesel conducted many lectures on inhumanity. With his lectures, he had also taught the literature of memory, focusing on the stories of those who have lived through tragedy. He had a passion for teaching. He used his talents as a storyteller to defend human rights and peace throughout the world. At 83, Elie Wiesel is still active in teaching, lecturing, and writing about our moral responsibilities. His work is considered the most important written account of the Holocaust. His first-hand account of injustice has led to a career in fighting for tolerance. Even through the tragedy